Welcome to the hot seat with Nick Woolley. Today's guest, Kyler Bills. Kyler is joining us. He is willing to do this. I don't know how, but I'm going to basically interrogate him, ask him all the questions we need to know, find out more about who Kyler Bills is as a person. No better way to find that out than with someone who is under pressure. Kyler, how are you doing today?
Nick, I'm doing fantastic. First of all, I want to thank you for having me on the show. I know there's a lot of lucrative guests you could have had on here. And for a man of my persona, my nature, I mean, at the end of the day, I probably am the best guest that you could have had. Nobody really does it like me. You know, as the great Ricky Bobby said, I'm the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. You know what I'm saying? So, first of all, I'm flattered to be on the show. I don't have any skeletons in my closet. There's a lot of negative persona out there about me in the media, so I'm excited to really get out there and knock those barriers down with the X, to say. But yeah, I couldn't be more thankful for you having me on. I'm really excited.
You sound nervous.
I'm not nervous. The greats never get nervous. Of course, there's a little bit of butterflies, a little bit of nerves. But as far as nerves as in I have something to hide, it's not necessarily that. It's about my performance and putting out the best episodes of the hot seat that's been out here. Because automatically once your subscribers see that my name is there and that my picture's on the thumbnail, your engagement's going to go up. But I will be paid handsomely for this interview, so I'm not incredibly worried about it. But I do owe you a great performance, and at the end of the day, that's all I do is great performances.
So a little nervous. I'm going to start off easy here. We're going to work our way up. So nothing too crazy for you, kind of get your footing in the ground. So question number one, Kyler Bills, are you a Republican or a Democrat?
You talking about like political nature?
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting to see. I feel like this country's so divided, with Republican and Democrat.
So Republican. All right, next question. You wrestle here.
Yeah, I do wrestle.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so, I've been wrestling my whole life, come from a wrestling family. Since about the age of 5, I took a little break in between wrestling and age of 5 in middle school, but, wrestled in middle school, wrestled in high school, obviously wrestling now in college. It's something that's been in my life and around my life since I was a little young buck. And I absolutely love the sport. It gets pretty demanding at times, but the lessons that wrestling has taught me have made me the man that I am, and I wouldn't be sitting here, wouldn't be a multi-quintillionaire if it wasn't for wrestling and the lessons that it's taught me. So I have nothing but love for the sport of wrestling.
So a follow-up question to that is, what are some other sports you played as a kid that correlate to wrestling? Skills that you learned, maybe hand-eye coordination from one sport, cardio from another. Is there any other sport that wrestlers tend to do when they're younger that can help lead them to more success on the mat?
Yeah, so, me, I'm kind of a Swiss Army knife. Like, I've played every single sport at a competitive sense, whether it's in my backyard or in a sanctioned event, Growing up, I was a big baseball guy, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Hit about 13 home runs off the pitching machine one year, won MVP for that in the Arcola Baseball League. As my team brought home the championship, which could care less about the team awards. It's all about my MVPs, my legacy. But
gotcha.
Obviously played a little bit of baseball. Quite good at golf. My record and my handicap doesn't say so, but any day I have the ability to go out there and shoot par. So it's not what the scorecard says. Obviously, growing up, I played some football. I'm a huge football fan. So I would probably say that wrestling and football correlate the most. You see a lot of wrestlers play football, just helping with that aggressiveness and the tenacity, and it's a physically demanding sport. I am the Arcola grass volleyball champion, which I say proudly. Basketball, if I wasn't wrestling right now, I'd probably be in the NBA. At the end of the day. Adam Silver this was actually crazy. Adam Silver actually contacted me when I committed to trying to wrestle. He contacted me about going out for the NBA draft that year. And obviously I knew where I was going to be. I knew I was going to have millions of dollars in the bank and women all over. That's neither here nor there. But I wanted to enjoy my childhood to an extent. And it was my dream to get a college education. So here I am getting my college education. Maybe that ship has sailed on the NBA. I don't know if it's sailed on the NFL. WWE is still in the picture. The PGA Tour is still in the picture. But, like I said, I'm kind of a Swiss Army knife. You name a sport, I've done it. Water polo and gym. I'm a great swimmer. I'm a fantastic swimmer. I have so many great qualities so that it's so hard to pick one. But if I had to pick one, it would probably be my humility. I'm a super humble guy.
Okay. So I like that you mentioned wrestling, WWE, because there's a lot of controversy around that. A lot of people say it is a sport, it's entertainment, it's fake. Then you have other sport. Chess is actually considered a sport as well. So I'm gonna have a little segment with you here, Kyler Bills. I'm just gonna, at random, name a sport, and you're gonna tell me yes or no. Is it a sport? Give the explanation. All right.
Okay.
So let's start out cheerleading.
Cheerleading. Are we talking about like side of the basketball game, or are we talking about competitive?
Cheerleading. Is cheerleading a sport?
No.
Thank you, Kyler Bills. That was a good segment. We're going to move on to our next question. You have some tweets on Twitter that I wanted to go back
I'm a fantastic Twitter
and look at.
I haven't got verified yet.
I actually wanted to go back and look at a couple of your tweets from your middle school days, high school days, because there were some interesting things that you tweeted out. Let me go ahead. On the 20th of March, 2019, you tweeted out, "You make my earthquake." Could you explain that one for me?
So this is actually a really funny story. The new Tyler the Creator album had just come out. I believe it's pronounced Igor, I'm not too sure. However you pronounce it, wherever city you're from, whatever country you're from, whatever nationality you're from, it doesn't matter. Great album, fantastic album. On the album it has a song called Earthquake. And one of the lines is, "You make my earthquake." And quite frankly, I was in an entanglement, you know what I'm saying, with a woman at the time, and she had my heart. And at the end of the day, I just had to let the Twitter sphere know that. Although I didn't name drop her because I got a lot of, I think what the kids call them now, side pieces in the street. I didn't name drop her, but she did in fact make my earthquake. So I just felt like I had to get that off my mind. I'm a great stand-up comedian, but as you can tell, I'd rather sit down.
Great stand-up comedian?
Yeah.
Tell us a joke.
A joke. Well, I usually have my material here. All
right.
Let me give you a joke.
Okay.
Gender wage gap. It's not a joke, it's a serious issue. I'm glad that you didn't laugh, because at the end of the day, I'm sick and tired of seeing this. Nothing makes me more sad than the fact that the WNBA players and the NBA players don't get the same amount of total revenue from their professional organization.
Big woman supporter.
I love women. There's nothing.
That is true, because on March 13th of 2020,
It's actually my brother's birthday.
Addison Rae tweeted out,
Actually, my brother's birthday.
"Ask me questions for a Q&A," and you responded with, "I'd let you give me Corona." Now, that's not a question, so could you explain that one?
Yeah, man. What the great Kobe Bryant said, "The shooters shoot." You know what I'm saying? Funny thing about Addison Rae is we actually had a little fling going. Not a lot of people knew, but me and Addison Rae were involved in a serious relationship, almost went public, almost, you know what I'm saying? I thought about proposing, but the great Juice WRLD said all girls aren't the same, or they are the same, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I didn't feel like she was worthy, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're a big Marvel guy, but you can't lift Thor's hammer unless
I'm not.
worthy. You can't lift Kyler's hammer unless you're worthy. So I didn't think that she was worthy. So at the end of the day, I don't think I could really pursue it. At that point, it was. You said it was 2021.
It's 2020.
2020. Obviously, the pandemic was going on there. I was stuck at home. I was a little lonely. We had that little entanglement, and I thought, let me shoot my shot. And she didn't respond directly, but if you do check my records and check, where I was at that day, she actually did fly me out to LA. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't give me Corona. You know what I'm saying? But I'll end that there at PG Show. But Addison Rae and I have seriously like a great relationship. Even though I broke her heart, or technically whatever it is, she was like, how do I put this? She was like sixth man on my roster. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to look for the best of my team. I had to put the people in the positions to win that finals and win that championship. Haven't won it yet, but eventually one of those girls are going to get a ring. She was coming off the bench. I couldn't do it. But there's nothing but love for her.
I like the scheme fit analogy. A lot of us use that when we talk about football. You're a big Carolina Panthers fan. And you tweeted out, most of your tweets, Panthers tweets, there's even a picture of you as a kid wearing a Panthers jersey. I love that. Steve Smith. So there is one tweet in here that I do have a question about. This is January 22nd of 2019. You said, "How is it Alvin Kamara makes it over Christian McCaffrey? literally look at the stats, it's outrageous. Now, you're talking about the Pro Bowl. I went back and looked at their 2019 stats. Both of them had, they were both within 50 yards of each other for the season, and they scored the same amount of touchdowns. So what is it about Christian McCaffrey that should have made it into the Pro Bowl over Alvin Kamara that year, since the stats were pretty much exactly the same?
See, Nick, here I'd like to question your journalism skills.
Yeah,
as somebody
sure.
who, I think the kids say glaze Christian McCaffrey a lot back in the day. I look at the stats a lot, and there's just no way, because here's the thing about Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara, outside of his rookie year, was doing exactly what Christian McCaffrey was doing, but at like half the production.
So he didn't work as hard as Christian McCaffrey.
The 2019 season?
I believe so. I believe it would actually be the 2018 season, because the Pro Bowl is taking place 2019.
So I was going to say it clearly wasn't the 2019 season, because that was the year he was robbed of Offensive Player of the Year, MVP, Coach of the Year. I don't care which year. Every award should have gone to him. But in 2018, he had a great year. I think he had 1,100 rushing yards, And if you look at what McCaffrey did, I believe 2018 was towards the end of Cam's skid, with having no shoulder. I believe we went to the playoffs that year because it was in January, so it would have been the 2017-2018 season. Went to the playoffs, and Christian McCaffrey just never got the love and respect he deserved, even in 2019. The only year that Alvin Kamara has produced better is his rookie year. And now if we look at it from a logistical standpoint, the only thing that Alvin Kamara is beating is random guys. You know what I'm saying? And I think he definitely needs to see some discipline. I think that people, professional athletes get away with a whole bunch of stuff. Me as a professional athlete, I hold myself to a higher standard, and I think actions need to be taken at the end of the day.
Well, I can't argue with that. And, I'm not one to talk because I use Twitter every single day. And I assume that you use Twitter every single day too. I mean, I'm looking, there were plenty of tweets, replies, quote tweets, retweets, comments, pretty much every single day, which leads me to my last question about Twitter. You were not active on Twitter. The only day I could see you were not on Twitter was January 6th of 2021. Where were you that day?
You said January 6th, 2021?
Yeah, January 6th, 2021. No activity on Twitter whatsoever from Kyler Bills. You must have been busy that day.
Yeah, I think I was busy. I think I was actually, it's a misconception. A lot of people think, they're like, I didn't see you. Were you at the Capitol? I don't even know what the capital of America is. You know what I'm saying? So I was actually, January 6th, I was actually helping my grandma. She actually fell down her stairs, and I was helping her with some yard work and whatnot.
She lived at the White House?
Huh?
Your grandma lived at the White House?
Nah. See, I wasn't even at the White House. I wasn't at the White House. Personally, if you ask me, I think what happened at the Capitol is a travesty. That's if you ask me. You sit here and you see all these people, and of course we all have the right to protest,
Protest? Protest?
Yeah.
All right.
I think what happened at the Capitol was a mistake and a travesty, and I hope nothing happens like it again. At the end of the day, I think it will, because our nation...
Oh, wait, you did tweet on the 6th. I'm sorry. You want me to read that one?
Yeah.
Or,
yeah, if you...
I think we should move on.
I thought I was...
Let's talk about race. Let's talk about race.
The Daytona 500?
Let's talk about race. I'm not going to set you up and ask you something messed up. I was originally going to come in here and ask you what your least favorite race was.
Oh, I can answer that.
And I thought...
I can answer that, no problem.
And yeah?
Yeah. The Indy 500.
Yeah, I was talking about skin color. So let me finish here, KB. I was going to ask you what your least favorite race was, but obviously that would be extremely racist. Yeah. And I don't want to put you in a position where you could not get a job in the future. Yeah, I love all people. So we're going to keep it positive. What's your favorite race?
My favorite race. We're talking about ethnicity?
Yeah. No, ethnicity and race, two different things. I'm talking about right here.
All right, man. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know if you got to do all that, but...
What's your favorite skin color, Kyler Bills?
Favorite skin color, man? I don't think I have a favorite skin color. I think we all get, you know what, Nick? Fantastic journalism, but I don't see skin color. I see you just the same as I see me. I see LeBron James.
I'm Asian. I'm happy to be Asian.
And I love you. for who you are.
But you're not Asian. I'm not the same as you.
I don't see the skin color. You are the same as me because you're a human.
You don't see my Asian?
You're a human being, and that's all that matters.
Okay, so out of all human beings, who has the best skin color?
J-Lo got some nice skin. J-Lo got some crazy skin. You know what I'm saying? She's a little older, but you couldn't tell. Dr. Miami do wonders. So that's cool. But now I love people of all skin colors and all races and all ethnicity. You know, Jesus taught me to love all, and that's at the end of the day what I do.
So black. All right. What's your favorite movie, Kyler?
Ooh. See, there's multiple different routes you can do with this. I'm glad you asked this question. Me, I'm an avid horror movie guy. You know, I've encountered many demons in my life. You know, both spiritually, you know, and emotionally and financially. I'm a big horror movie guy. I would land it on The Conjuring. You know, just because I'm a big horror movie guy. But if you branch off, I'm a big fan of The Dark Knight. You know, I'm a big superhero comic guy in a sense, and I think The Dark Knight was an absolute masterpiece. I'm a huge fan of Shutter Island. If I had to narrow it down, probably The Conjuring. You know, just because it's what I grew up on and whatnot. But I have I have a wide variety of what I like. I'm a very diverse guy, and that's just one of the many things. One of the many things that I love about myself.
Can you explain this picture, Kyler?
Yeah, I believe that is me in a fur coat with jean shorts and some cloud goggles in my shower. I wasn't in the shower. I want to preface that, but I was in my bathroom.
Do you know where you were going that night?
See, in that picture, I was actually staging a little fit for the next day. You know what I'm saying?
You weren't going anywhere. You just put this on?
Nah. See, that's actually my mom's skirt and my mom's jacket. But hold on now, because I had a couple prospects I was meeting with the next day at school.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to get the little get up going. You know what I'm saying? Make myself more, you know, physically, emotionally, socially appealing, you know, to the prospects. And I think it's fascinating. A lot of people don't realize this about me. One of my another great qualities is how respectful I am. I knew that wouldn't fly into the school dress code, you know, exposed shoulders and whatnot. Don't ask me. I think women should be able to wear whatever they want. That's just me, though. But I knew that it would cause some issues with the dress code. So what I did was I threw a little olive polo on under it. You know what I'm saying? Threw some shorts under it just in case, you know what I'm saying? Principal Lackland looked up my skirt. He gonna see some shorts. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't mid-thigh. So I had to do what I had to do. You know, had a great meeting with the prospects, signed a couple individuals.
A couple?
They're no longer on the roster.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
They die?
No, they didn't die. We thought it was better to mutually part ways.
You released them?
Yeah, I released them because.
Where did you release them to?
And I'm so thankful for their time.
Where did you release them to?
To the world, man. To the world. The world is their playground, man.
You explain this video, Kyler Bills?
Oh, I love this video. This is 2019. This is my sophomore year, hitting a little, you know what I'm saying? Great video, fantastic video. First little bit of traction I had on Twitter, you know, reaching my millions of followers that I have now. You know, I was in a little silly, goofy mood. The whole woe trend was going, you know what I'm saying? So I actually made multiple of those videos. That was the only one that was technically appropriate enough to put on Twitter. So I put that on Twitter, got some traction. I thought it was cool. You know, I was cutting weight. My face was a little sucked in. I was a lot smaller not there than I am now. You know what I'm saying? But I was just in a little silly, goofy mood. You know, and I had to hit the wall one time. You know, I'm a great dancer. I'm a fantastic dancer. I was invited on Dancing with the Stars. They wanted me. Actually, Erin Andrews, I got a presentation on her later, man. Sheesh is what the kids say in the street.
Doesn't seem very respectful, Kyler.
How's that not respectful? I think she's a beautiful woman with a great mind.
It's very nice of you to say.
Yeah. I mean, see, I'm a super respectful guy. You know, when I went to my prospects' houses, you know, when I signed them on a 4-year.
You call them prospects.
Yeah, because there's multiple. Okay, when I sign them.
Usually you talk about prospects when they're in the minor leagues. Minor leagues, could you explain that a little bit more?
See,
prospects in the minor leagues?
I don't elevate players from the minor leagues.
You want them to stay in the minors. You like to stay in the minors.
I wait until they're developed and in the
You wait?
until they're in the professional leagues. And then,
You wait?
If like, so say I'm San Diego, I'm a big baseball guy.
But you're Kyler.
Say I'm the San Diego Padres, right? And the Pittsburgh Pirates got a player I really like. You know what I'm saying? They've developed them through their high A, their double A, their triple A. You know what I'm saying? And now they're in the pros. And now they're good. Like, I'm going to trade for that player because I want it. You know what I'm saying?
Trade?
Trade, yeah. I'll throw one of my players over there.
Throw one of your prospects in the minor leagues over there in
in
exchange for
See,
someone from Pittsburgh.
Not even my prospects are in the minor leagues, so I don't deal with the minor leagues. They're amateurs, they're immature.
But you just said you scout the minor leagues
I don't
for
scout
it.
the minor leagues, but if they're in the pros and they've been developed through their organization, but now they're in the pros, that's the biggest thing is that they're in the pros when I trade them.
Thank you, Kyler Bills, for joining us today. Had an excellent time, and you did very well in the hot seat. And I appreciate you coming in and joining me today.
Nick, bro, I want to thank you for a second, you know, and thank you for having this opportunity to really come on here and bless you. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, your channel is going to skyrocket views, engagement, likes, follows, reposts. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I wish nothing for the best for you. You know what I'm saying? If the channel goes a little slow, feel free to have me on anytime. Make sure you wire me that cash. You know what I'm saying? I actually got to fly out to Ibiza. You know what I'm saying? Got a little prospect meeting, if you know what I'm saying.
The minor leagues are good out there too.
Nah,
so.
we going straight pros. We going to the pros. You know.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking to trade. I got a player.
You're gonna trade people in Ibiza. All right, awesome.
A player's just not doing it for me, man. So
doing what?
I'm looking to move on, man.
Okay. Thank you, Kyler Bills.
Thank you, Nick Woolley.
Until next time, this is the hot seat.